I was walking home from school one day, an old bag hanging from my shoulder. I crossed the street of the palace and came to my street, the street of the pariahs. In a corner, a threshing floor had been set up, and the knacker watched the proceedings, seated on a piece of sacking spread over a stone ledge. Our people were hard at work, driving cattle in pairs, round and round, to tread out the grain from the straw. The animals were muzzled so that they wouldn't help themselves to the straw. I stood for a while there, watching the fun. Just then, an elder of our street came along from the direction of the bazaar, holding a parcel. The manner in which he was walking made me want to double up. I wanted to shriek with laughter at the sight of such a big man carrying a small parcel in that fashion. I guessed there was something like vade or green banana bhaji in the packet, because the wrapping paper was stained with oil. He was holding out the packet by its string, without really touching any part of the parcel itself. I stood there thinking to myself, if he holds it like that, won't the package come undone, and the vades fall out? The elder went straight up to the landlord, bowed low, and extended the packet towards him, cupping the hand that held the string with his other hand. Knacker opened the parcel and began to eat the vades. After I had watched all this, I went home. My elder brother was there. I told him the story in all its comic detail. I fell about with laughter at the memory of a big man, and an elder at that, making such a game out of carrying the parcel. But Anand was not amused. Anand told me the man wasn't being funny when he carried the package like that. He said everybody believed that knackers were upper caste, and therefore must not touch anything touched by pariahs. If they did, they would be polluted. That's why he had to carry the package by its string. When I heard this, I didn't want to laugh any more, and I felt terribly sad. How could they believe that? It was disgusting if a pariah held that package in his hands, even though the vade had been wrapped first in a banana leaf and then parceled in paper. I felt so provoked and angry that I wanted to go and touch those wretched vades myself, straight away. Why should we fetch and carry for these people? I wondered. Such an eminent elder of ours goes off meekly to the shops to fetch snacks and hands them over reverently, bowing and shrinking to this fellow who just sits there and stuffs them into his mouth. The thought of it infuriated me. How was it that these fellows thought so much of themselves? Was it because they had scraped 4 coins together? What did it mean when they called us pariah? Had the name become that obscene? But we too are human beings. Our people should never run these petty errands for these fellows. We should work in their fields, take home our wages, and leave it at that. Both my grandmothers worked as servants for Naicker families. In the case of one of them, when she was working in the fields, even tiny children, born the other day, would call her by her name and order her about, just because they belonged to the Naicker caste. And this grandmother, like all the other laborers, would call the little boy Ayya, master, and run about to do his bidding. It was shameful to see them do this. Even the way they were given their drinking water was disquieting to watch. The Naicker women would pour out the water from a height of 4 feet, while Pati and the others received and drank it with cupped hands held to their mouths. I always felt terrible when I watched this.